Hi there, out there in the viewers' world of YouTubes. Bob and Lou at the Two Old Guys Garage with the Anglia Street Rod project. Today is the 13th of January, and it's freaking cold out there. It's about 21 degrees. Let's see, this would be part 48, segment 1. And what we've got is we now have seat belts. We now have a rear view mirror. I'll get it from this side. We now have a new ignition switch that has an accessory position.
Yeah, makes it nice.
And you can see the lights come on for the windows.
Yeah.
Okay, and Terry from up north, our source of Anglia parts, will be sending us some Anglia window U-channel. This stuff is a little bit too big, doesn't fit quite right. That hasn't come in yet. So, oh yeah, Lou, let's show me what you did on the gas tank.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what I did is I made this here adapter piece of aluminum round stock, and what I did, I made it so I could attach a fitting on it, and now this tank is actually venting from here instead of through the cap.
And that goes...
Yeah, there's a bulkhead fitting down on the body. It vents out to the...
So that vents down to the bottom.
And then this cap is self-venting, so what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to put an O-ring in here. And what it'll do will help keep the fumes, the gas fumes, from inside the car.
Yeah.
And then once you get a bulkhead in there,
yeah, we're gonna
it'll change it.
Firewall. Which reminds me, one of the viewers said that the pops in England, when they mess around with them, they don't have room for the back seats, obviously, as we don't. But one of the things he said, Lou, I can't put my hand through the window anymore, it's glass in it, is that they make this piece in the rear with a shelf.
Yeah.
So you can put stuff on top of the shelf. So, yeah.
It's just a thought, yeah.
Yeah, well, when we get around to that point, we'll think about it. Okay, so then what I want to talk about is the rear bumper, and I'm going to put this on pause and set it up so that I can talk hands-free. That's because I'm part Italian. Hang on. Back again. All right, camera's on tripod. What I did was I brought over my partially put together nerf bar that was supposed to be on the front of the coupe, but I'll never put it on. I got to thinking that it would look pretty good, right? And be functional, right? We got the rear frame wheels, and then I brought over one of the metallic license plate front frames, which if you look here, we got these license plate lights, LEDs, that actually go through the screw-in holes. And they're pretty quick, put out a lot of light, be a little bit different than putting a tag light. So then the question is, do we mount this
right like that? Yeah.
To the
just
back?
make a little put it near on
face plate, because the screws don't exactly line up.
Yeah, just
attach a face plate.
Yeah, just hang it down a little bit. Yeah, ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah, face plate probably.
And then what'll make it nice is the frame rails. It's right here, so I'll just make a bracket come out like this, come up, and then I'll hook up right into here.
Yeah, good.
You know, it'll work good. Yeah.
Okay, so a little story about this bar.
Yeah.
Okay. When I got out of the service, out of the Navy in September of '65, and finally got back to the 32, which had been stored in my father-in-law's boat shop. The first thing I did was I jacked the back up 11.5 inches by adding a U-shaped piece of big channel to the tube cross member. And then I went to Harry Rosen's junkyard and I bought an F1 Ford truck rear end, then welded plates and adapted it to the cross spring. Like I said, raising the back of the car. Took the cycle fenders, well, they came off with the old rear end. And then instead of putting cycle fenders on, if you can believe this, a friend of mine had been trying to talk me for years into putting in 32 rear fenders, which he had.
Mm-hmm.
That came off of a racing 32 Ford and Sports Car Club of America called the Grey Goose. Anyway, I called up Rick, I think his name, yeah, Rick. He said, well, you better hurry because we're moving the house and we're going to throw them in the junkyard. 32 stock, good condition rear fenders. This was 1965, you know.
Oh,
Unfortunately, you know, hindsight's great to me on that stuff. So anyway, raising the back of the coupe up pretty high, there was a big void there, and what I did was my father-in-law, Mike, worked at the shipyard, and basically he'd get me any piece of metal. So I had him get me 4 pieces of 180 bend, pieces of stock, 4 bends, bars, and I welded it all together and put a rear nerf bar, I guess we used to call them, on the back of the 32. And like always, not having money or desire to be chromed, I painted it with black epoxy. And then in about 93 or 94, my second father-in-law, Jim Lippin, worked at All Metals in Stanton, California, where he was like the janitor cleanup guy. And he was like 73 or something. He worked right up to a couple of years before he died. Anyway, they did all kinds of stuff with metals, including powder coating. So he said, I could powder coat that. So I took the bumper off the rear of the coupe and gave it to him. And they black epoxied it. Not epoxy, they black powder coated it, which is on there to this day. Anyway, this would have been for the front of the coupe, and I never got around to finishing it. So I've been carrying it around since November 1965.
Man, that's some history.
In those days, we didn't have power tools like grinding discs and, you know, bench-mounted grinders and sanders. What we had was a plain old Jane electric arc welder, and I'd arc weld these and then hand file them down. Okay? No grinders. The only power tools in those days we had was a drill, half-inch drill and a 3/8 drill. Everything else was by hand. So in fact, you can't see it probably from the camera, but these are not completely finished, but it'll be a snap for Lou to fill these in and then grind them flush and then probably what, powder coated, Lou?
Yeah, either that or have them chromed.
Oh, I have it chromed, yeah. Anyway, it goes to good use.
Yeah.
And that'll be another notch in the pile.
Yeah, well, it's going to be nice. This baby has, you know, it's going to look good there. It's got some history.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, a piece of the 32 doing
Yeah.
going on there, yeah. And the other, you know what the other bonus is? My wife gets rid of another piece.
Oh, yeah. She's got bragging on you about getting rid of shit.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
By the way, talking about history,
Yeah, that'll work.
I recently bought, I mentioned in an earlier video, I recently bought a steering stabilizer that is designed to fit on a 32, 33, 34 Ford. And after doing a lot of research for the best source and the best price and the best minimum shipping, I ended up going to a company called Roadster Supply, which is on the internet. And some nice guys, and they got a lot of good looking parts, suspension parts mostly, but some other things too, for 32, 34 Fords. Prices are right. I mean, you know, everything's expensive these days, but prices are right. And if it's small enough an item, they charge you $10.99 as a handling fee, and then they ship it. So that's good. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up is that one, I wanted to give them a shout out as a possible source for, 32, 34 type stuff. RoadsterSupply.com. They're on the internet and you can get to their site, see what they've got. The other thing is I was looking them up. I saw they were in Stanton, and having lived for years in Garden Grove, which is next to Stanton, I looked up on the Google Maps and I found out that Roadster Supply is practically next door to All Metals, where my father-in-law worked and got my powder coat.
Small world.
Yeah, so there's the tie-in, the connection. With that, I'll stop boring you and I guess that's it. We're all caught up, huh?
Yeah, just lower the car down and let's see what's going to be next. Well, next thing will probably be work on that project there, making the
Sounds
for
good.
the back, making the brackets and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, with that, I'm going to end this segment and I'll check it later when I get home.